Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the latest upcoming episode of Unfortunate Love was how Lakshmi gives Neelam a befitting reply after Neelam tried to insult Lakshmi. Then Grandma's team begins to use reverse psychology for Rishi in order to make him stop his marriage with Malishka. So let's continue from there. Shalu tells Rishi that a guy called Rishi is Grandma's faraway relative from America and says the relative asked Grandma to tell them about a very good girl and says who else is good than Lakshmi for Grandma. She asks Rishi if there is any girl that is important than Lakshmi. Rishi says for me also, there is no girl that is good other than Lakshmi, and Shalu and Bani get happy. Bani says to Rishi that the America Rishi got lucky because he will get married to my sister Lakshmi. She says, I thought that you will marry Lakshmi, but you did not. So I should stop calling you as brother-in-law. And from now on, I will call you Rishi Obre, and I will call the American Rishi as Rishi brother-in-law. And Sonia says to Shalu and Bani that nobody is nobody's brother-in-law here. Bani says to Rishi that I thought that you love my sister, but you have broken my heart. She searches for something. Sonia asks, what are you searching for? Bani says, I'm searching for proof. She gets Rishi and Lakshmi's marriage album and says brother-in-law has kept the album safe till now because he loved Lakshmi even till now. So it means that Rishi and Lakshmi would never be separated. Sonia says to Shalu and Bani to stop dreaming and says Rishi and Lakshmi are divorced now. Bani says my sister has given Rishi divorce. Shalu says divorce is divorce. Bani says Rishi might love Malishka and that is why he is marrying Malishka. She says Grandma has searched for a good guy who is having the same name Rishi for Lakshmi and says now their sister cannot refuse to Grandma. Shalu also tried to make Rishi realize his love for Lakshmi and says brother-in-law doesn't love my sister, and she asks Sonia if this is true. Sonia says yes, Rishi doesn't love Lakshmi. Shalu says if Rishi had loved my sister, then he would have proposed to her. Sonia says Rishi loves Malishka and that is why Rishi divorced Lakshmi. Bani says I thought wrong that Rishi loves Lakshmi, but it doesn't, so that is why we should get Lakshmi married to that America Rishi. Shalu says we did not ask that America Rishi and says he will love and respect Lakshmi. Sonia says even mom doesn't refuse to Grandma's sayings, so it is good that Lakshmi will marry one America Rishi so that she will go away from their lives. Rishi asks Shalu and Bani if Lakshmi agreed to marry the America Rishi. Shalu says my sister cannot refuse Grandma and says I am happy that you are marrying Malishka and my sister is also marrying the America Rishi. Bani says I will be happy if you had married my sister and Sonia asks them to go away from there. Bani continues to play an emotional game and says we cannot come to this house again now after Rishi and Malishka's marriage. Shalu says that America Rishi will love my sister. Bani asks if they will go to America to check and says how can we say this? Shalu says it is destiny and says we should call brother-in-law as Rishi Obre and we should remember that he will not express his love to our sister. Sonia asks Shalu and Bani to go away from there and Bani and Shalu says bye Rishi Obre and they go away from there after messing with Rishi's mind. Neelam calls the priest and asks him to come. Karishma asks Neelam why Lakshmi is sitting here. Neelam says today Rishi and Malishka's marriage should happen and Lakshmi will stay with me throughout. Neelam says to Karishma that she has kept Lakshmi in front of her so that no order will come in their way because Lakshmi might run away from the house and Rishi will run after her and stop the marriage. Karishma says good idea and says I have asked Sonia and Sonal to keep an eye on Mom, Ayush and Virendra because they might also be planning something. Sonia comes there and tells Karishma that she heard Shalu and Bani saying that Grandma has searched for a guy for Lakshmi. Grandma comes there. Karishma asks Grandma if she got a guy to marry Lakshmi. Grandma says that she will get Lakshmi married to Rishi and says the Rishi is in America. Neelam says America and says it is good that Lakshmi will go abroad. Lakshmi asks Grandma that what are you saying? And Grandma asks Lakshmi to come to the room and talk to her. Neelam says Lakshmi will not go anywhere and says after the marriage, then you can take Lakshmi to your room. She says she doesn't want any Odu to come into the marriage and says that the priest has just come and she asks Lakshmi to come with her. The priest comes there and says to Neelam that you have kept the marriage for today. Neelam says yes and she asks the priest to do the arrangement. Kiran tells Malishka that she is very happy today. Malishka says she is worried because Lakshmi is still here. Kiran says Neelam has taken Lakshmi in her control and she asks Malishka to calm down and says today you will marry Rishi. In the room, Rishi looks at Lakshmi and his marriage photo album and he gets emotional. Malishka comes there and snatches the album from his hand. She asks that what is he seeing? Rishi says, I am seeing you and my marriage dream. Malishka asks, really? And says that Rishi has seen the dream after a long time and says she is ready for the marriage. Malishka says to Rishi that she is very happy today. First, she was tensed when Vikrant said that she is involved with him and says that she is not mad to spoil her own function and says she knows that Rishi cares for Lakshmi and he will leave the function if something happens to Lakshmi, so she will never plan something like that with Vikrant. Malishka says to Rishi that today is Lakshmi's last day here and she asks Rishi to throw the wedding album away and says we will make our own album. She says we should go together and she click photos with Rishi. Shalu and Bani comes to Grandma and says that they have done the work. Bani tells Grandma that Sonia heard them when they were talking to Rishi and Virendra asks Grandma to see that Neelam has done all the arrangement for the marriage. Abe thanks Neelam for getting the marriage done so quickly. Malishka and Rishi comes downstairs. Shalu thinks that come on brother-in-law, express your love to my sister. Bani thinks that brother-in-law, if you don't say it now, then you will not get a chance again. Ayush thinks that just do it, man. Rishi's inner self tells him that today is the last day for him to confess his love to Lakshmi and he asks him to go and tell Lakshmi how much he loves her. Rishi recalls Lakshmi asking him not to tell anyone that he loves her and asking him to give her swear. Lakshmi is behind Neelam everywhere she goes. So now says to Malishka that you and Rishi are the best couple. Malishka says we will compensate for the missed time and we would enjoy our life so much that people will watch. Abe takes off bad side from Rishi and Malishka and he gives the money to Mukesh to give it to the poor and says that the marriage should happen today. Kiran says our names get ruined when the function stops earlier, but now everything is working well. Abe asks them to marry and be happy all their life, and Malishka says nobody can stop our marriage today. Karishma asks Rishi and Malishka to sit in their place, and they sit on the sofa. Lakshmi looks at Rishi, and Rishi also looks at Lakshmi. Neelam asks the priest to make Rishi and Malishka get God's blessings first before the marriage, and says today this marriage should happen. She asks Malishka and Rishi to go to the priest and take the God's blessings, and Rishi and Malishka goes away from there. Grandma tells her teammates that if Rishi passes the test today and confesses his love to Lakshmi, then they would also pass today, and Ayush says Rishi will pass the test. Rishi recalls Shalu and Bani's marriage talk, and he imagines his marriage with Malishka while Lakshmi is standing with someone else. The priest asks Malishka to keep the flower in front of the god and the goddess, but the flower keeps falling down as Malishka is keeping it. Malishka asks if God is not blessing her. The priest collected the flower and keeps it and says take the blessings now. Malishka says we should take the blessings now and says now we would exchange the ring and we will marry and then nobody will come between us. Sonia tells Sonal that Grandma is getting Lakshmi married to someone else. Sona asks, are you sure? And says Grandma must be planning something because Lakshmi comes first for Grandma and she can never send her away with anyone else. Malishka asks Rishi to smile for her and Rishi fakes smile. Ayush comes there and asks Rishi to say I love you and says you love and you realize it also, then you should confess it. Malishka thinks that Lakshmi's puppet has taken a turn today and he is asking Rishi to say I love you to her. Meanwhile, Ayush was stylishly reminding Rishi to confess his love to Lakshmi. Malishka says to Ayush that Rishi will say I love you to me whenever he likes. Ayush says this is the last chance because this ambience, the marriage day and the time will not come again, and he asks Rishi to say it and he goes. Malishka asks Rishi to say those 3 magical words, which is I love you, and says you did not say it since so many months. She asks Rishi to make the moment memorable and tell her I love you, but Rishi is silent. Neelam asks Sonia to call the priest so that they can start the engagement and Sonia says okay. Sonia comes to Malishka and tells her that her marriage rituals will start now and Malishka smiles. Shalu comes to Rishi and says you are marrying Malishka and my sister will get married too to the America Rishi and says I am happy for you and for my sister too because you both are getting married to different people. Shalu says bye Rishi Obroi and Rishi looks on in shock. Okay guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to check the comment section for the link to the next episode once it is available, and it will be available very soon today. And I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.